Hi, all.
Hello,
Welcome to Bad Decisions and Good Mascara.
where the mascara is flawless.
And the decisions are questionable.
We wouldn't have it any other way.
Cheers, my friend.
Oh, we should have made you a martini, Miss Anna.
Oh,
she's got.
cheers.
Cheers.
And cheers to all of you.
I just spilled it all over myself.
Oh boy. Well, the coordination goes pretty quickly.
Sure
so.
does. Sure does.
Okay, friends, I am looking for my intro.
We have a friend.
Yes, we do.
Joining us today. Exciting. Our first guest.
Yay! With us today, we have Dana K. Goddard. She's a longtime downtown St. Louis gal, community builder, creative comedian, and mama of twins who's stepping boldly into a brand new era of life. And yes, that includes dating. After years focused on motherhood, healing, and figuring out what actually matters, Dana is re-entering the dating world. She joined, and she's not pretending to have it all figured out.
No.
She joins Bad Decisions and Good Mascara to talk modern dating chemistry, confidence, midlife reinvention, and why sometimes the bad decisions make very good stories.
Don't they?
Right.
They make the best stories.
So, Miss Dana, how has your week been?
Well, thank you so much, both of you, queens, for inviting me on this podcast. I've been tuning in the last few weeks and I've really enjoyed it and was just, I don't know if you saw it on my face, Kim, when you asked me, but I was quite over the moon and surprised, but it means a lot to be here. So the week's been great. Have you ever swam in a saltwater pool?
I sure have. Very relaxing, isn't it?
They are so relaxing, and I have been feeling grateful all day and sharing that with others too.
Okay, how about you, Miss Danielle?
I think we need to talk about the Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah, listen.
It didn't happen.
Right. It did not happen. Thanks to Frontier Airlines. I'm going to try not to be too bad of a hater, but I made it a lazy river weekend.
Yeah, you kind of made up for it.
Put the tubes that we got in the pool, floated in there with the lights on, and went to the lazy river and floated on Saturday.
Okay, so you made it happen.
Yeah, that was my definite bummer for with the week, though.
A little bit.
You made it, Queen Kim, you made it happen in real life and online. Right before it happened on here, I noticed that you updated your cover photo on the socials with a beautiful Tubi look.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's a change of seasons, and I'm glad as everyone is so gung-ho to spring into fall, which I appreciate autumn. I'm all for autumn, but everyone's ready for fall, and I like that you're keeping the water vibes and the summer vibes present, at least on your social profile, and of course your beautiful oasis of a backyard.
Yes, I love summer. Okay,
how about you?
My week has been fine, except, okay. I don't know if you could see it, but so suddenly I have like rings around my eyes and I'm allergic to, I don't know what, because I've been using the same products, not just for months, but years now. Nothing has changed. I'm taking the same allergy medicine. I mean, I feel like I could like scratch my eyes out. So I don't know what that's about.
And that's a change because, right, didn't your eyes used to just water?
Now no watering, which is awesome.
You didn't try new mascara, did you?
Nope.
Okay, just checking.
Right. Nothing new.
Okay, girls, well, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Okay, we'll let you answer first, Miss Dana.
Because we're talking about dating, you remember?
That's right. Dating in your 30s, 40s, 50s.
And beyond. Because,
and beyond.
To be honest, when you get past your 20s, the naive years of when you think that life is going to be beautiful and everything's going to work out. I married my high school sweetheart, had a child. I'm divorced. So now I'm 50, and guess what? It's a whole other ballgame.
And I'm in the same boat.
Yes.
Miss Dana, how is dating different than when you were younger?
Hmm. Well, as you mentioned, I'm just with the fun little intro. I'm just getting back out there with dating as of right now. as as of now. And so I'm in my late 30s. I'm 37. I have not been dating or courted by a man in nearly a decade now. You know, nearly a decade. Um, but I'm looking forward to it. And I guess to answer your question, you know, for me now, on a personal note, now I'm you know dating as a mother with young children, or I will be dating as a mother and with young children, and in an entirely different era of my life. So that's just changes things entirely, and is probably a lot of why I haven't dated in the last 5 years,
Right.
4 or 5 years. So we shall see how it goes.
Awesome.
Yeah, I feel like that is a big difference when your older kids come into play, which changes the whole dynamic of everything and trying to like
Yes.
work it in. I remember being where you are after I got divorced and trying to like kind of maneuver around the young kids and make sure that you're protecting them and that, you're
Yes.
having fun, but you're keeping it. It's like you have to have two separate lives for a while until you know if you meet the right one that can kind of come into everything.
Right.
And
Before
that's
you
hard.
introduce them. Yeah.
It's not that easy,
Yeah.
especially for you have
Yes.
twins. So two
Yes.
young ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can be.
Boy, girl.
It can be
Yeah.
Boy, girl. So even you think about that we think about things as women for our daughters, but I'm kind of considering it for both a little girl and a little boy. Yeah, I will say it's not that I haven't had romantic interest or I haven't ultimately longed for a partner in all these years. Of course I have, but to your point exactly, Danielle, it's like how do you go about it? And so for me, I was just well, when their father and I split, they were so young, and there was so much going on in those years between the pandemic and an injury I had and an unplanned pregnancy and all of it. So it was just a lot really, really compounded. And then in the last 4+ years, since then, dating, I can see how dating, before dating didn't feel daunting. It
Right.
just it felt fun. If we think of our 20s or our teens or when we're younger, it's
Mhm.
not to say we didn't sometimes get in our head here or there, or find
Mhm.
we all
find
do.
something, but it didn't feel daunting. And yeah, the stakes didn't feel as high as I guess they do now, or just different, considerations and pressures. I think it's part of the reason why I've just really wanted to make sure that I'm sound and they're sound, and then we'll see.
Right.
But
For sure.
Yeah, I would say now at 50, which you may be in kind of experiencing, I think we're kind of in the same boat.
Yep.
Now like everything's changing, right? So you're
Absolutely.
dealing with all of the physical, the mental
mm,
changes. Everything's different
It,
from when
it,
I dated in my 30s to now.
right.
It's so different.
And it's almost like a teenager. Like it affects your self-esteem
It
because you're
does.
just trying to adjust to the changes,
And sometimes I think to myself, do I want someone else to see me without my clothes on? I don't know. I'm a
Just
little
make
bit
them close their
I'm a
eyes.
little bit softer than I used to be.
So are they. So are
yes.
they.
True that.
I would say dating is different
Beautiful.
for me because you used to meet people in person. And
Mm-hmm.
now it's like a lot of people have to meet someone through online dating. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But
It's
I
harder.
feel like it's a pet store, right? And I feel like people window shop. And then I feel like you have a date and you think, oh, this was the best date ever. And you go home and they're back on the app. Like it's always looking for, is there
Next
something
best
better?
thing.
Yeah.
Just like we all are in our lives, in everything in our lives, we're all kind of a little selfish. And we're always like, we have all this stuff in front of us all the time, flashing at us. So we're always like,
Yeah.
oh, there might be something better over here.
Yeah.
Right.
Here.
You guys
Never
are
satisfy.
you're touching on something that is really so profound, and while it's been around for a little while, it's really still in its infancy if we think about, the what's ahead, I mean, I remember when my dad was dating post divorce, he had a news ad or two, you
Oh,
know.
yes. Oh, yes. There was, what was it? What were they called? There was like a whole page of things,
Yeah.
right? And then,
It wasn't in the classifieds.
no, I don't know where it was, but there
Well,
was like
maybe it was
people
just
you
a
could
dating
put
page.
ads in there asking for, yeah.
Yeah, and I, obviously as we're recording this session, I'm like, did Dad have an ad, or did he find someone for an ad, or was that just, little Dana who was aware that that was an avenue to potentially find love? I don't know, but point being, going from, the 90s, that would have been the 90s, where, pre-social media and pre-technology. You're meeting people through people, or you're meeting people by chance, or you're putting an ad in a physical paper, and it can't be more than 15 words, or
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
Right.
whatever the limit is. Flash forward to now, where, and Kim, you kind of touched on this in terms of just the apps.
Okay, so here's a good question. Dana, how do you protect your safety when you're dating?
Yeah, that's a huge deal. So again, I'm just kind of barely beginning to get back out there. I haven't even been
Right.
going on dates, but even prior to this sort of hiatus and motherhood journey that I've been on, safety certainly was a consideration, back then too, whether for myself or some of my girlfriends. Maybe it's the millennial in me, but I'm a bit of a digital detective. So obviously, knowing, at least confirming identity. I think back to my sister. I love you, Meg. She has passed. But when she was wanting to go out with a guy that she had met downtown here, you can take very little information, partial names,
Yeah.
um, and do some searching. And so, um, yeah, whether you have all the info needed to do, if you're in Missouri, a case net search, or a social search, or this or that, doing some sort of search just to verify the person. And it's interesting, but it was interesting to hear her, touch on this very subject in terms of just safety, and making sure you're meeting who you believe that you're meeting,
Right.
and not just from a, is that an accurate photo?
Oh,
Which,
uh
girl,
we're gonna
they
get
are
to that.
not. Can I tell you how many people showed up? Oh, you had hair in the picture.
Yep.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
I, there better be at least one or two of those stories, because those are always
Mm.
something. But yeah, it was just interesting to hear someone younger than us, share that that's kind of forefront of them too, is just sort of safety,
Yep.
making sure people
Yeah.
are who they are. And then I definitely felt her like mediocreness about the apps, and she's,
Yeah.
I don't know how old she is. I'm guessing no older than 25, 22, 23, 24, 25. And it's like, wow. So it's definitely a consideration. But doing some online searching or CaseNet, and then a communication, and Kim, I'm big on this, even if I'm, just kind of running an errand, in terms of communicating your plans with
That's
your
right.
support system. I always recommend, and I go back to thinking about, Meg or some other girlfriends, take a photo of the license plate, take a photo of the
That's what I did.
car, let us know where
Yep.
you are, and actually that does remind me. So a couple years ago, wintertime, I went on a date, and I took a photo of
Right.
of the license
Very
plate
smart.
and all that, and
Yeah.
and the man said, "Oh, okay. Well, just so you know, just so you know, this is gonna link back to a business,
Yes.
not to me, personally." And I said, "Oh, no, that's not trying to prod,
Right.
hopefully you're insured and good to go." I mean, we were only going about 3 blocks, but
Right.
yeah, you just it's this balance, right? Because on one hand, you can't be too careful, right?
Right. You can. Yeah.
But on the other hand, we need to trust ourselves and not be in fear, because the fear period is what has us lonely and disconnected and divided and all the other things. So it's just this balance of like trusting that we're protected but taking the precautions, and yeah, watching out for one another.
Right. Yeah. The only thing I would add is I would send the picture of the license plate or the license to her.
Yes.
This is where we're
Just so
going.
that somebody had it.
Or meet in a public place for the first time.
Yes.
Don't have them come to
100%.
your house if
Yes.
possible, because you just don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
And then
What would you add?
that's it. Just meeting in the
Or
public.
don't go to
Think
another
everything's done
person's
perfect.
house.
Yeah.
I've
No.
heard of people just inviting people over for the
No.
first time, and it's like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
No. Mm-mm.
And the truth is, which we'll talk about later, we really have the upper hand in dating, but we'll get to that. Okay. All right, Miss Dana. Worst first date.
No, Lord.
It's going to be good.
Oh, God.
I know you haven't dated in a while, so.
Okay, no, there's one that sticks out to me. So this would have been back in like 2010 or 2011. So a good 15 years ago, in
Right.
my early downtown STL gal days. Um, so a neighbor, and so he was a familiar person. He lived in the neighborhood, and we had some mutual friends. I believe he worked for Ameren. Gotta watch who
First
Ameren hires.
laughing.
Gotta watch who Ameren hires. They'll just hire anyone. No, and we went just to downtown West to Oz. I think it was Ozzy's, but it's very simple. He had too many or too much substance in body prior to the
Oh,
date.
goodness.
Oh, no.
That's it. That's the one that comes to mind, just because I was looking, forward to it. I'm open minded, like, yeah, sure, let's see. And it's not like I'm going into it like, are you my husband? But a date's a date, and he asked me out, and it was a week or two ahead of time or so, and so I treated it as such, and I just remember, it was evident from when we when we first saw one another that that he had already partook.
Oh, boy.
And I was like, okay, but and at the time especially, I was just I mean I was a real prude all around, but just really wasn't,
Weren't we all?
wasn't doing much of anything. Now that's why it's kind of funny when I was thinking about even bringing this up, because now I'm certainly plant friendly, and they are medicinal. But at the time, I was not into the plants, and that I think is what was the divider between us, because I'm
Sure.
thinking we're going to go out and have a couple of drinks. And then it just, I smelled it on him a little bit, when we saw each other. And then I could just tell like, I would not, how he was, because I had met this person multiple times
Mhm.
before this date, at least a handful,
Right.
4, 5, 6 times. And yeah, I don't know if he was nervous or what, but how he was on the weed that night or whatever was not like who I had even agreed to go out with. So I would
Right.
say I ended up I stuck around, for the appetizers, let's say. And I didn't completely blow him off, but I did not stay very long, and I did let him know. And you know what? No, all, when you have mutuals, the mutuals want to know. The mutuals want to know. So. Hmm? And I was like, so nothing. So nothing. He was your boy was way too stoned.
Right. And that is just not appropriate. I mean, yeah, I
No.
agree.
How dare you expect him to come to the date sober?
Right.
What?
Unreasonable.
It must have been his nerves.
Those high
And
expectations
it
of
may have
yours.
been, but too bad.
High expectations, yes.
That's right.
High, but not too high.
Right. Not that kind of high.
It must be the nerves. You are a gorgeous woman. He was
That's
just
very
very
true.
scared.
He knew you were a queen and he
Thank
was
you.
scared. Yep.
He was nervous, and that is, I don't think we realize how much we do intimidate the males sometimes, and we gotta be mindful of that,
Sure.
because us felines are not only used to ourselves, but we're sort of used to other felines in different extents. But we are a different species to the men, and I know that we intimidate them more than we may realize.
Absolutely. Yeah. So my worst dating experience, of course, involves this one. So you will remember this. We went to
Okay.
Helen Fitzgerald's. I met this guy. We had been talking for long enough. I get there. He has no front tooth.
Oh, I
I'm not kidding you. In all of his pictures, he had his front teeth. And I'm thinking, buddy, unless you are a member of the St. Louis Blues, this is not going to end well. And even if you are, get yourself a damn tooth. So I arranged it with her ahead of time. I said, listen, if I text you 911, you call my phone and act like the daycare, which I didn't even have my daughter that day. So 911, she calls me and I'm, oh my gosh, she has a fever. Oh my God. Oh, I'm so sorry. I really have to go. What?
Yeah, I do remember that.
My God.
Yeah, that's not okay. That's the picture thing. Not okay. Okay, so the guy comes. Well, this is an easy, like, he had no hair. He was like 5 foot shorter than he said he was. And he starts arguing with me about politics. Who talks about politics on a first date? Don't do it, people. Don't do it. Religion, politics. Don't do it on the first date. You got to save that for later. Got to feel each other out first. So, yes, we got into a complete argument. And yes, needless to say, oh, and his daughter called him and asked if he was with somebody else. Yeah. So, yeah. Also, one time I had someone ask me if my boobs were real on the first date, like 5 minutes in. Really?
You
Okay.
should have said, no, they're big.
I'm like, yes, they're real. I'm sorry. I know they're ginormous and stupid for my size, but they're
They're
real.
juicy.
And then one,
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Jeez,
Mhm. And I was stuck at a Cardinals game, so I was just there because I didn't remember where my car was. So I was there for an entire 9 innings.
You were there. Was
I
it
was
summer?
all in.
Was it summer? Do you remember the
It was
season?
summer. It was summer. I had a tank top on. Apparently, that was the wrong choice.
Oh boy.
I know. And then the last one would be we went to dinner and everything was fine. And then he was like, oh, well, what are your plans tonight? Would you like to continue on? I said, I'm meeting a friend, but you can meet us. We're going to go watch a band play. You're welcome to come. So he comes. a lot of things ensue, but the night ends with him saying, my friend who I've known since grade school, why would you trust her over me? We have a bond. Come home with me. What? Dude, I've known you for like hours. I've known her since I was a kid. Moving on.
Oh, well. Okay. Dating apps. Yes or no?
No.
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 Yeah. That's a bummer.
It is a
No.
bummer because it's hard to meet people nowadays. People are
It is
more to
busy.
themselves. Everybody's got the phone as their shield, right? So even when they're walking, they're on the phone, so they don't have to make eye contact with anybody.
Mhm.
A lot of people have problems, like even just sitting down and having a conversation with someone. So it's hard to meet people.
Yeah.
That whole thing, oh, you meet in the grocery store.
Right.
Not really. Not really.
Although so you bring up the grocery store. I had a childhood friend that met her. She also named Megan, different Megan, but she met her husband while she was picking out some bananas.
Did she?
Nice.
That's the first one I've heard. Okay.
Very nice.
Yeah, they
Nice.
peeked each other. They peeked each other, and then she got a little bashful and nervous, but wanted to see him again. And if I recall correctly, then when they were checking out, there was a reunion. And there was some extra checking out, and now
Yeah,
they have
second
3
Jan.
children.
Oh, well, that's a great
amazing.
story.
Yes, that is amazing.
If there are any boys out there watching, there might be. We talked about this.
Yeah, we've invited
know.
them.
Just talk to the girl. Even if you're like, she's going to turn me down. If
Yeah.
she's mean, just walk away.
Yes.
You'll probably never see her again.
Right.
Just say something. Just say something. If someone speaks to me, I will every single time
I
talk
will
back
too.
to them. It does not
Yeah,
matter.
I won't be.
Absolutely.
not matter.
But I'm so glad that you say that in terms of have the courage, guys. Pursue. That is masculine energy. But I also am glad that you say that, because I mean, my mama, rest her soul, my mama, I remember at a very young age, maybe, I don't know, 10 or 12, before I was even dating, obviously, but like when you're, seeing the world and understanding that, yes, you too might have a, boyfriend or honey someday. She told me, and it's so funny how different maternal advice sticks with you and makes, is even deeper, as time passes. But she told me, she said, Dana Kay, the man ever, comes all the way across the room to ask you to dance or to whatever, you need to remember one thing. And I'm thinking, oh, like, you could have daughters, right? I'm not nowhere close to that with my little one, another 5 or 10 or 15 years. But, I just remember being like, oh, like, mom daughter sort of, girl talk, what I mean? This was like, this is like one of our early like girl talk conversations. She said, the man ever comes clear across the room to ask you to dance or to introduce himself to you or whatever, you remember one thing. I'm like, okay.
Right.
What is it, mama? What is it? And she said, it took him courage.
Yes.
It does.
Took courage. And whether you are interested in him or not, you remember before you respond the amount of courage that it took him.
That's
Be
right.
kind.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Again, I say, if the woman is not nice, walk away. You never see her again. That means she's not a nice person.
Right,
and
for sure.
It's okay.
But that's where some of these not nice women are being hurtful and they're being damaging because you don't have to say yes, but you don't get to be rude.
Right.
Agreed.
You don't automatically just get to be rude or dismissive. And what is so sad for me, for the men, I'm saddened by this, but for the men is how so often um the women that are being very dismissive, and this is generalization, but the very just kind of rude or quick to dismiss, or right.
Mm-hmm.
One of two things. One, they're either a word I'm not going to say on your podcast, queens, period,
Okay.
and we're going to be calling them out in other mediums, and or two, um it's really not a reflection of their their heart or this or that, but it's more of like an insecurity
Yeah.
or
Mm-hmm.
Oh
discomfort
yeah.
in how to handle it,
Yep.
and
Oh yeah.
I just, as someone who's very deeply passionate about humanity and human connection and community and all of that, to see the number of missed connections or connections that could have been connections, or just where, because again, like, connection doesn't have to be anything more than a minute, right? But when we look at one another in the eyes, and when we hear one another, and when we exchange any amount of energy, certainly if it's in person and our auras are overlapping, that's a moment, and you are either going to be receptive, which is feminine, and even if you're not interested, just you know thank you, but no thank you, and
Right.
there's still a connection there, or not. And so I'm definitely gonna aim to instill that, not just in my own future love love life, of course, but with my daughters as well, just remembering connection is everything. It's everything. And I hope that by the time that my kiddos are dating, that a lot of the woundedness that our world has right now, and a lot of the cynicism and the jadedness and all that, I really, really hope and pray that it is just I don't know, let's spread some balm on all of our wounds. Just
Yeah.
spread some balm. I just hope it's balmier, where it's not to
Right.
say there's not scars, but hopefully everyone's being a lot kinder to one another, and more open to connection, platonic or romantic, because these
Right.
devices are not supporting that,
No,
They're
they are
not.
not at all. It's true.
No.
So
Nope.
so very true.
So the last thing that we have for you, I have read some books that I wanted to share. This book you can get a lot of places. I just have it on my Kindle. Okay, I'm still going to read it, but it's called The Power of the Pussy. And there is a number 1 and a number 2. And I'm going to tell you, this is probably the best dating advice and relationship advice I've
Really,
ever
I've
seen.
never read this. Okay,
Yes.
I need to check it out.
It basically what it will tell you and what you need to realize from this is that I'm terrible. That
You are not terrible.
I am not terrible, and that's one of the things they talk about. You're the prize.
Yes.
Yes. And once you read this, you will understand why you're the prize, and it gives you positive things to do. If you're a person who has low self-esteem, which I've suffered with from family issues, I reread the book and I did some of the things today. Like it had well, basically I am. And you don't
Yes.
write physical things, you write, I'm educated. It's hilarious. One of the ones that I have my own car and my own house. But
Yes.
if you think about
That's a kind of a big deal.
yes,
It
Like back in the
is.
day, us as women didn't have those
That's
things, right? We had to depend on the men for those things.
Yes.
So it is awesome
Yeah.
that we're able to have our own house, have our own car, have our own job,
right,
be able to do what we want to
Absolutely.
do
right.
when we want to do it.
And just one more book that I want you to see.
It's so funny that you showed that book, Kim. Fellow, we're more powerful than we sometimes give ourselves
Yeah.
credit for. And I was like, I hear you, super kitty. I hear you, super kitty. I was like, yes, we are. Yes, we are. But we I think we sometimes mistaken earlier life experiences or others' feedback or past relationships or things. You know, we internalize treatment or feedback that is just it's really just not true. You know, we are pure love and we are pure light, and we are absolutely the prize, and it doesn't mean that we are better than men or that men are
Not at
better
all.
than us, but no, like we we're a gift. But I think that's where, when we talk about how we're gonna just, you know, heal the world and and balm all of our wounds and everything, a lot of that comes down to understanding the energetics of all of it, and that every person has both feminine and masculine energies. Therefore, they need to kind of look under the hood and see where they're feminine or masculine or paternal or maternal. Ultimately, we're all sort of our own chemistry of both feminine and masculine, regardless of how we were born. But women are we are portals. We are portals. We are bringing life to the physical, and whether that's a goal or aspiration of every woman's, whether that's something they have or haven't done. I know that the three of us and many women have, you know, the ability to do that. Like we're supernatural, and
That's
it
right.
doesn't mean that we're walking around
For
saying,
sure.
I'm supernatural, I'm
Growing
supernatural.
a person.
I mean, it's pretty amazing if you think
It
about it.
Yeah.
is.
Yeah,
It
Yep.
it
is.
is.
It
For
is.
sure.
And I feel like now with this kind of collective rise of, and because the feminine has been so misunderstood historically in many cultures for all of time,
Hmm.
that we've been suppressed and in many situations oppressed, you know, um but and I feel like a lot of the world's issues in recent years or decades has kind of just been these kind of conflicting forces, but unnecessarily, you know, because all of a sudden it was like burning women at the stake for
Right.
things that are really actually gifts and innate abilities and things. And even now with different inequalities around the world with women, we're certainly so fortunate for our freedoms here, you know, in America.
Mm.
Yes.
But it is so imperative now more than ever for us as women to connect or reconnect, and feel comfortable in our essence,
Right.
in our essence, and to honor it. You know, we're crazy, we're spaghetti bowls. We're spaghetti bowls. I've had a few therapists in my life, Layla, but the one of the best aha moments was when Maureen McGowan said, "Men have waffle griddle brains, women have spaghetti bowls."
Yep.
And I'm like, "Yep, that explains why we're nuts."
They definitely compartmentalize.
And
Okay.
we have so much going on. Sometimes our
Oh,
noodles are all entangled and flopping out of the bowl.
that's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I have one more thing to show you. This is another book. This book is he's not just not that into you.
Which they made a movie out of.
And yes.
Yes.
I think it was written because of an episode of Sex in the City, I believe.
Oh, was it? I don't
Yeah.
know.
But
Love
I'm
it.
going to tell you, girls, whatever your age, this is another book that you really should read, because don't waste time if he's just not into you.
Correct.
And there is nothing wrong with having a set of expectations and walking away if the expectations aren't met. I
Will you say that
understand.
again? Will you say that again?
I will
Yes.
happily say that again, because you deserve to have what you want to have. Don't
Yeah.
go for anything less than what you deserve.
Right.
And there's always going to be compromises. No man is perfect. No woman is perfect.
Sure.
But all of us have sort of things in our head that we're like, these are deal breakers. Don't ever stray
Yes.
from those deal breakers. You will regret it every single time.
And words can trigger people, expectations, yada yada. But you're right. It's like standards, right? It's like whatever your standards
That's right.
are, know them and be clear on them and honor them. Because even reflecting back on that date from many years ago, ultimately he was not my person.
Yeah.
But I have definitely found, how about you all, where, if men want something, the men that at least, and obviously there's relationships of all kinds. I'm talking about heterosexual relationships and men, but like if men want something or someone, they are wired to hunt, they are wired to
That's right.
pursue, to get it. And yeah, it's not wrong or bad or not okay or anything like that if they need to try again, but like if you're not clear as the woman, as the prize of like, this is where I'm at, this is what I stand for,
Right.
this is what I need, this is what I want. If we're not clear on that, it's not realistic for us to think that other people are going to be clear on what we want or what we need. But we also have to hold that because, not, and there's plenty of people who have given people multiple chances unnecessarily and wasted a lot of time and energy. But I'm sure that there's also no shortage of scenarios where if there was just clarity about what the needs were, or where what was needed, and there was clarity there from both individuals and it was communicated, men are wired, especially if they're determined to secure that partnership and have that woman. They'll do whatever it takes, and they'll some of the greatest transformations internally and beyond happen, the catalyst for change, because maybe that, haven't, yeah, can we end on that note? It feels so hopeful, where it's like,
Yeah.
is there is that, can you guys think of anyone in your life, male or female, who maybe after a breakup or a separation or this or that, it was just the catalyst that ultimately transformed them into finding, their highest self, or becoming, whether they ever got the love back or not? Is there anyone that you can think of, or it's powerful, it's powerful.
It is, for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure.
I don't know. I just think I'm 50 now. I look back on my life and I compromised. I compromised with my ex-husband and I compromised with the last relationship I was in. And look where I am now. I'm single at 50.
Yeah.
So it did me no good to compromise.
You compromised to the point of self-abandonment.
I did.
Yeah.
I really did.
And I did in my marriages too.
Yeah.
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 And I think the moral of the story is don't compromise and don't
No.
settle, because you get what you settle for.
Yes. And you end up alone anyway.
Right.
And you could have, look at how many years I've missed out on maybe meeting that person because I chose to compromise my beliefs and my thoughts where I was at, or settle for something less than I think is perfect.
Do you see it that way now, or did you see it that way then too?
Oh, I had no idea then.
Yeah, you wouldn't keep repeating it if you did.
Yeah, when I was in the middle of it, yeah, no, I didn't know.
Right.
And I'm very good at telling, like, from the outside other people,
Aren't we all?
but myself, yeah, it's bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the truth.
Yeah.
So take note of that, ladies.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Take care of yourselves.
Right.
You're
First.
powerful.
we
Girls?
sure are.
All right, guys. Well, we will see you next week. Miss Dana, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much.
We so appreciate it. So everybody
It
have
was
a good evening.
fun.
Love y'all. Bye.
Bye.